Chris Classic, dropping a car vlog. You guys and gals are having a wonderful day. If nobody tells you, remember that God loves you, Christ loves you, and all as well. Praying that you guys and gals have a wonderful day. Stay warm, stay safe, stay righteous. Make sure you subscribe to the Taking Home Podcast, where I talk about professional wrestling topics, and I put my matches as classic out for a professional wrestler of 13 years. It'll be 14 in March, so the good Lord see me then. It'll be a great milestone in my life, but if not, I thank God for the gift of wrestling. Make sure you also subscribe to C3 Ultimate Wrestling. That is me and my wife's professional wrestling company. Make sure you get your tickets for Big Business February 21st. It'll be in Dyer, Indiana. So that's on state line between Illinois and Indiana. It's right there at the I believe it's is it the Blue Rhino? It's a restaurant by it. There's also a hospital across the street. So tickets are on sale now on Eventbrite, $5 off, definitely $5 more at the door. Also, when you sub to C3 Ultimate Wrestling, look at all of our matches from our previous shows from last year and the years before that. So make sure you stay in the loop of what's going on with C3. What's going on, Raphael? God bless. God bless. Hope everything's great. It's going great for you. Are y'all ready for SamiMania? I'm asking. Are y'all ready for SamiMania? SamiMania is going to be upon us, and it's going to happen, probably start this year, and it's going to go stronger next year. SamiMania is a thing, and I already know. Somebody probably already coined the term SamiMania. SamiMania, for you guys who don't know, is going to be sort of like Kofi Mania, except Kofi Mania was to us a little bit, especially us black folk, we loved it because it wasn't even meant for him. Right, it was meant for somebody else, but he was so undeniable, and the crowd loved him and stuff like that. And even Daniel Brown saw the rise of Kofi, that it went that way. With Sami, they're obviously building him. One, I wouldn't say more for working hard, but he has worked hard. He has done a whole bunch of stuff for the company, but also for business and pandering, because he is Muslim, and they're all going to Saudi Arabia this Saturday, I think, and then they are going to have WrestleMania next year. So I do think that SamiMania will hit a high point between both spots. Now, if they say with SamiMania he wins it this Saturday, dang, Drew, but also you kind of put up a whole bunch of other stuff as well, because you'd be like, dang, we didn't want Cody to lose to Sami and stuff like that, because we want to protect Cody, because we still consider him the face of the company at this point, right? You could do that. Or if Sami loses, then you have a loser story going all the way up into WrestleMania of next year. He wins the Royal Rumble 2027, and then he finally goes against the champion and he wins it in Saudi Arabia, because you know there's always speculations that Saudi is on the verge of buying WWE from TKO, and that could be a thing. That could definitely happen. You know, they do boxing, they do MMA, they do all of this. They do a lot of stuff out there. So still, I know a lot of people are upset that WWE is going out there for WrestleMania, because they tried to do something with WrestlePalooza and it didn't work. So still, I think that SamiMania is definitely going to happen. So Brock did bury Kofi. Kofi lost the belt in second. So that showed people that Kofi was never in the main plan to have a WWE title, because he was fed to Brock, right? So still, the way they're going about it, not really big on, because Sami and Drew has faced each other many a times before. Drew was saying that the people are against him and stuff like that. They ran it back. I mean, even Randy was a referee at one point, I believe, in one of their matches. So not really fond of just having them wrestle, but it's a week. So I don't know. Most likely they're going to try to run it back or whatever like that. But still, Drew wins it. I'll be fine with it. You know, I'll be fine with it. Let Drew have a long championship run, because the last WWE title run he did have was against Randy Orton, and he only had it for a month, and then he dropped it back to Randy. So if you want to have Drew have it for a bit, just have it for a bit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, believability in wrestling, especially in WWE, they've been throwing it out the window. I would think that a guy with the stature of Drew McIntyre will turn Sami Zayn any which way but loose as far as wrestling is concerned. But it is what it is. Like I said, if it's going to do a one-off, that'll be kind of cool. That'll be all right or whatever. Have it at the WrestleMania. You'll get these guys out there They'll be all into the match. They're going to be chanting. You know, he speaks the native tongue out there. He's Muslim and all of that stuff. You know, WWE is not unfamiliar with pandering to certain people and stuff like that. That's why Great Khali was a world heavyweight champion, and he wasn't that great of a wrestler. Sure, he was a nice guy, but he wasn't that great of a wrestler. You know, dang near couldn't walk. And then Jinder Mahal, he was the WWE champion. And mind you, when Jinder beat Randy, I was excited for Jinder Mahal, because Jinder Mahal definitely was not on people's bingo card for winning that championship. The fact that he won it, I was happy. I was happy that happened, especially because you heard the story about him like working out more and going through a dark time and actually overcoming that. But still, we also knew that they was doing stuff with Saudi Arabia and going out there with certain things and all of that stuff. And the experiment didn't really work that well. And he went against AJ Styles, and AJ Styles beat him. Mind you, that was actually one of Jinder's best matches I've ever seen. So the promise was there. It's just that they was just only doing that for a reason. Sure, you could say a feel-good moment, but at the same time, you know it's strictly business. We knew what was going on. We knew what the schedule was for WWE. Like, it won't be long until, like, when these cities bid for WrestleMania and Royal Rumble and stuff, it won't be long until, and they probably have it now. They're going to be influencing who they want to win. Hey, who's from New Orleans? Hey, who lives in Indiana? Who's from Texas? Hey, we want them to be a champion. We want them to win. It won't be long. It will not be long if it's not there, because they're going to be like, you know what? We paid you guys to be here. We want people to go home happy. So we want the hometown hero or home state hero to win. It won't be long. It won't be long. Watch. Unless it's probably happening now. If it's not happening, the only reason why it's not happening is if it's already happening, if that makes sense. I tried to do something with it, it didn't work. But you guys know what I mean. If you know, you know. That's what people be saying on Pop the Balloon. But anyway, still. As far as the standings of Sami winning, my thoughts on it is this. This is why fans be like, okay, y'all are literally, you know, the money's already made, and you guys can do what you guys want to do as far as giving people time and stuff like that. To me, I do think they need to chill a little bit on long, drawn-out stories, in my opinion. They don't even need to have long year reigns. Like, I don't expect Drew McIntyre to be a WWE champion for a year, right? But at the same time, I don't even want to see, like, Sami Zayn do this for like a year or two or whatever like that, because we just saw Cody do it a few years ago. And even before Cody, Roman Reigns was the champion for about 3 years. So it's like, I don't want to see it again. Like, it's okay. And I get it. Unless they stop everything, he loses, and then we do something else with him. But most likely, they're going to make a playlist of Best of Sami or Sami moments leading up to a championship run next year. They're definitely going to try to do something like that. And my thing is this: when we want people like Montez, or we want other guys to have a chance in the spotlight to wrestle, and then people be like, there's no time, we can't do that. We're about to possibly see a great story, by the way, for them. For me, it is what it is. To me, I don't want to say I checked out, because I have nothing against Sami, but when they kept saying, oh, underdog, and he was beating people, how much of an underdog works? Do y'all know what an underdog is? To me, Rey Mysterio is one of the greatest underdogs, because even when he won the World Heavyweight Championship, he was losing non-title matches because he still was Rey Mysterio. That makes sense. Being shorter and stuff like that. I remember Great Khali beat him, and he was a World Heavyweight Champion. It was a non-title match. Like, he was losing because the believability of him being the ultimate underdog, and that's what he was. You can't give me that for Sami if Sami is beating Gunther, Drew, all of these guys. Sure, you know, y'all can say Super Senior. You might as well say Super Sami at this point. It's not an underdog if you continue to win. I'm just saying. Yeah, you're going to get beat up, but then, you know, you're going to overcome. It's sort of like the Lakers in the early 2000s. They lose a lot at the beginning, and then eventually they'll just pull through. They're not the underdogs. They were the champions. But still, he might win. And like I said, if he does win, more power to him. He might win. Like I said, but still, I just think that some people are for it and some people are against it, because it's going to take a lot of time to build that. Because people are going to assume that if he doesn't beat Drew, he's going to do it on his family. People are going to call him losers. Feud with Trick will win a match, lose a match, 3 matches in a row. You know how WWE does the thing, and then he'll probably do Royal Rumble, win Royal Rumble, and then do it. It's just that these guys have things for long-term plans, and I think that WWE is having a problem with doing long-term stuff. That when they do short-term stuff, it's trash because they have plans to do stuff. Cena's heel run, trash. His face run, trash. Him winning a belt, good. We wanted to see him win it 17 times. But look at all the stuff that happened with that. Horrible. Travis Scott, The Rock, trash. Like, not saying they trash people, but it was just trash to put them a part of that. Because that was just something to pivot to get the belt off of Cody and also give John Cena his last hoorah as a champion. But still, with Sami, a lot of people love Sami. They still singing songs and stuff like that. So still, I do think that SamiMania is upon us. I do think it is upon us. I do think a lot of people are going to be happy that Sami wins it. And some people are not. Some people are going to be like, hey, you know what? Sami's a better contender than a champion. And I've said that before. I've said you have people that are better contenders than champions. Like, cool, they'll win the belt, but they're not meant to have the belt for a long time. And nothing against Sami, but I do feel like that's what it would be for Sami Zayn. I mean, even with secondary titles, he hasn't had them for a long time, right? So still, I do think that Sami is a better contender than a champion, but obviously they'll probably give him the belt. Like I do think a lot of people think he's either going to win the belt this year or he's going to win it next year. But I do think SamiMania, hey, we can say that. Not even SamiMania, SamiZania is upon us. It's upon us, y'all. Shirts, merch, and everything. Kids love him. Fans, adults love him too. But still, I do think that that's something that they're going to be working on. It also shows like WWE's bluff about certain things. Like, y'all will put the time into the people that y'all want to put the time into. So when people are saying, and I'm going to keep saying Montez because a lot of people want the best. They want Montez to do stuff. So I'm going to use him and other people as examples. When they want these guys to come in and they want these guys to work, and you guys are giving like everybody, you're giving other people keys to the kingdom, and they get to do whatever. And it's just like, dang, y'all could have did this with somebody else. Now, obviously, Sami has been wrestling in WWE longer than Montez. But still, Sami has always been relevant when it comes to WWE's plans. Whether it's him doing the underdog stuff that people don't believe, or being an honorary Uso, or his friendship and brotherhood with Kevin Owens. So he's always going to be like a part of the plan, and that's fine. You get what I'm saying? But still, I can see why people would be exhausted if Sami does win, because they're going to put all of this time, not effort, all of this time in him to being the champion. But let me know what you guys think. You guys ready for SamiMania, whatever you want to call it? Let me know what you guys think of Sami Zayn. I hope you guys and gals have a great day. This is Chris Classic. Let's take it home.